Coming up, winter weather leaves area roads snow covered and icy in some places. Will today be any different?
Well, we're not going to see any snow falling, Tanya, but those slick spots remain because we're a far cry from the freezing point. The dangerously low temps coming at us from the Skywatch Weather Center.
Also, the future of Joplin's Memorial Hall may soon be decided.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach. We'll get to those stories in a moment. But first, let's go to Michael Hayslip, who's tracking these still very, very cold temperatures.
Yeah, not only cold, Tanya. I know you're going to have the latest, too, on some road conditions and where we can find those. You can always go to KOAMnewsnow.com. But the key factor for today is those slick spots still exist out there. And our road crews did a marvelous job cleaning off our main thoroughfares. But county roads, side roads, we're a far cry away from a melt as our temps right now down as low as 10 degrees up in Iowa, a whole bunch of teens pretty much everywhere else. What we're going to see for today are mostly cloudy skies. There we are. Thank you, computer. Mostly cloudy skies to start with. Eventually we'll get a little sunshine this afternoon, but it's just a matter of multiple layers right now as we've got single-digit wind chills abound. Make sure when the kids are headed off to the bus stop that it's not only multiple layers, but don't let them skip out without the coat, the hat, the whole nine. This is one of those mornings where exposed skin, and it won't take a long time, we've got the chance for frostbite and hypothermia. Weather trend for today. By the time we get into the afternoon hours, we'll finally get past the freezing mark. Sunny skies, really no weather threats. But then overnight, we are going to drop back down. And as we get into Saturday, even though we get a little warmth on Saturday, we're also going to pick up a little spotty rain activity. Now, the key factor is you'll see a little pink pop up every now and then, an indicator of some freezing rain. That's going to be early Saturday morning. I want everybody to be apprised of that. Other than that, our rain relatively scattered and pretty light for the most part. Some of it will only result in a drizzle. We're able to ride the 40s into next week and then creep up into the 50s by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, thanks, Michael. Well, snow has melted off many of the main roads in the area. There are still concerns as the temperatures continue to drop. In Joplin, a number of the main roads cleared out as traffic increased and the sun broke through yesterday. But that melting combined with dropping temperatures could make roads hazardous again through these early morning hours.
Be aware of that. If you have to get out, if you don't have to drive, don't drive. But if you find yourself driving, regardless of the category of roads you're on, you could encounter something like that. So I think drive accordingly, slow yourself down, give yourself plenty of time.
Officials with the Joplin Police Department say if you do go out, it's important to make sure that your cell phone is fully charged and you have an emergency kit in your vehicle. Well, the conditions are the same in Kansas. According to the state's road conditions website, candrive.org, most roads in southeast Kansas were back to seasonal conditions. However, officials have the same concerns about roads refreezing, and they urge drivers to take it slow.
I'd just say for the traveling public, just because it doesn't seem significant doesn't mean it can't be treacherous. So people just really need to slow down out there and, take their time and don't crowd the snow plows.
You can find links to area road conditions at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Miami Fire Department discovers the body of a deceased man while responding to a fire. Last night at approximately 8:15, Miami police were notified of a residence at 2G Street Southwest. When the fire department arrived, found the body of a male inside one of the rooms. There was no power to the residence, and it appears the house was being warmed with a portable heater. While the state fire marshal investigates the cause of the fire and detectives from the Miami Police Department investigate the cause of death, they say there does not appear to be signs of foul play. Authorities have not released the identity of the man. A Tulsa, Oklahoma man is dead after a crash on I-44 in Lawrence County, Missouri. Missouri Highway Patrol says a semi hit the rear of a pickup driven by Luis Pacheco Lopez. Pacheco Lopez was thrown from his vehicle and died at the scene. Police say 2 suspects fired 8 gunshots late Tuesday night in Independence, Kansas. No one was hurt, and police say 2 men are in custody at the Montgomery County Jail, but at last report, authorities had not filed formal charges. Community members in Joplin on Thursday discussed the future of Memorial Hall. Memorial Hall Citizens Committee held their second meeting of the year. In yesterday's meeting, the committee voted on co-chair members for the committee, setting up future meetings to get to the heart of the issues around the building.
It's a wide variety of individuals from our community. You have every aspect that you really would like to see on a committee, and you know they have a lot of questions, which is what we want, and they're very passionate about Memorial Hall and what Memorial Hall can be.
The committee plans to meet every Thursday at 4 p.m. Next week, they plan to discuss a bond that will be put up to voters in April. There will be some more traffic impacts from the 32nd Street widening project in Joplin. Starting Monday, West 32nd Street from Schifferdecker to the entrance of Westbury Square will be closed. Detour routes will be posted and property owners will be allowed access at all times. The closure is expected to last until April. It's one of many closures that will happen consecutively on different sections of 32nd Street as the city continues its widening project. It's expected to be wrapped up in summer of 2023. Well, do you have a favorite local business you'd like to see recognized on the air? We want your help to recognize the 4 states' finest. Head over to koamnewsnow.com/finest and during this month, nominate your favorite 4-state businesses. Use your browser or just snap a picture of our QR code with your phone and you'll go right to our website. Once there, you'll find several categories to choose from. This is all chosen by you. So be sure to join in on the nomination process this month. It's a great way to show your love and appreciation for your favorite local business. And each week, one lucky viewer who nominates a business will receive $100. So don't wait. Tell us about the 4 states' finest now. It's 5:07.
Focus of our Friday morning is going to be our freezing cold temperatures. That's the actual temperature. That's not the wind chill. That is the actual temperature that we're looking at. 13 in Joplin. Let's go 13 in Chanute, 16 in Miami. And then if we factor in the wind, it is shifting. Eventually we'll get a little south breeze, but for the time being, single-digit wind chills. Nevada and Stockton are doing something right. Let me know the secret to that success right there. They're the only ones with a wind chill that is actually in double digits right now. Weather trend for our afternoon, sunny skies. South gusts will pick up overnight. We'll come in about 20 miles per hour there from the south. Nice thing is that'll get us substantially over the freezing mark for Saturday with a chance for a little scattered rain in the morning.
Thanks, Michael. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the Joplin Eagles have a red-hot 7-1 record going into the Kaminsky Classic at Joplin High School. We're going to let you know how the host team did in its opening game. Plus, Wisconsin and California sell the winning Powerball tickets earlier this week. We want to know, what would you do if you win the lottery? We asked you to weigh in. And we're in the midst of some serious winter weather, but experts say getting outside can be good for your physical and mental health. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
The Dalton Team Challenge.
It was opening night of a January high school basketball classic, the Kaminsky Classic. It's a 4-state tradition. It takes place at Joplin High School. 4 first-round games on the docket, but the tournament host Joplin Eagles, they were on the floor first. Joplin 7-1 coming out of the holiday break, facing the Jefferson City Jays. The Cap City in round 1 in the first, always right, so smooth with the ball. Always scored 8 in the first quarter alone. Whit Hafer, oh, two-handed. I've seen another Hafer do that. In the second, Bruce Wilbert knocks down a couple of threes in the quarter. Wilbert gets 12 as Joplin leads by 6 at the half. Third quarter, look at always right down the lane for a throwdown. Right, a game-high 23 on the other end. Kevion Pendleton, 3 for Jeff City. The Jays actually take a 2-point lead into the fourth quarter. Game under 5 minutes to go. Terrence Gibson, give me that ball, give me that basket, give me that foul. Gibson, 13 points, 10 rebounds, give me the double-double. Joplin wins the tournament opener over Jeff City. Final score 70-64. After that one, it's Nevada facing off against Francis Howell. The winner gets Joplin in the semifinals today. Vikings come out hot. Trey Liner with a 3 from the left wing. Then Liner back to work from the corner. He led Francis Howell with 13 points. Dwight Lomax Jr., other corner. Lomax Jr. He scores 11. Vikings had the first 15 points of the game on the other end. Bucket for Nevada. Cade Bishore hits the three, but it's Francis Howell rolling. Final score 67-14. Other side of the bracket, Carl Junction on the floor against William Crisman. CJ falls 60-42. So Crisman's going to face Webb City. That's because the game for the Cardinals against Poplar Bluff was actually canceled. It is rivalry week for Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern basketball. The Lions host the Gorillas on Saturday. It's the first meeting of the season. On the men's side, Southern 7-4 to start the year, Gorillas 4-10. Lions have played pretty well lately, winners in 5 of their last 6 games. Got to shake off some rust though over the weekend. Between the holiday break and COVID issues, Saturday's game is going to be the first Southern has played since December the 18th.
We've shortened it. We've done a lot of just individual work on top of that. But at the same time, you know, when we've done our hour and 15 of work, we've really gotten after it and just try to get back into shape with playing. I think they pose a lot of mismatch issues, especially with getting Williams back. He's just so big. Can play out on the perimeter, play inside. He really hurt us at their place last year. We have to make sure we do our part of boxing out and making sure we, you know, just limit him to one shot and not give him extra opportunities.
Little SEK wrestling last night. Columbus hosting Pittsburgh. Start off at 138 pounds. Big takedown, Corbin McIntyre. He needed just 32 seconds for the fall. Purple Dragons up 27-6 at 170. Matt Smith for Pittsburgh. He's 15-0 so far this year. Smith takes some time, but he wins by pin. Smith stays undefeated. Pittsburgh now with a comfortable lead, but Columbus finishes strong. Isaac Sharp at 220. Sharp looks like he's in trouble. Oh, no, he's not. Sharp wins by pin. A minute and a half in. Last match of the night. Jake Eddington gets the pin and does so in the first period. Pittsburgh wins it 55-24. Purple Dragons now 6-1 in their duels. Still to come on the KOAM Morning News, remembering the terror attack on the offices of Charlie Hebdo some 7 years later. And to check on our 7-day forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Hey guys.
Hey Dad.
You ready?
Sitting at 5:17, about ready to roll past it. Great time though for weather on the 7s. It'd be great if we could get a little sunshine as well. We need a warm up at this point. Heavy overcast skies though to start our Friday morning. What we are looking at though, regionally speaking, is we don't have to worry about, tell you what, I'm going to fight this thing this morning. That's a great thing about live television. I can complain about my technology here on a Friday. Watch this. There we go. Nice thing is throughout the entire Midwest, we're done with any snow or precipitation. We're actually stay on the dry side for the rest of the day. So if you need to be on the roads, remember though, we still got slick spots out there because of our cold temperatures. Let's kind of talk nationally real fast before we get to us. They're going to have a good old-fashioned bomb cyclone. We haven't been able to use that term in a while. But the pressure associated with this, and yeah, that's the one that rolled through us yesterday, making its way from coast to coast. We're going to see a huge drop in our sea level pressure there, and that's going to cause massive snow and travel problems for them. Now, even though we've been talking about the dangerously cold temperatures, you know, geographically is how the National Weather Service puts out wind chill warnings, winter storm warnings. We actually do not have any advisories, watches, or warnings on our Friday morning. But with that being said, still want everybody with multiple layers on, please, as our temperatures right now sit anywhere from about 10 to 16 degrees. And when we factor in the wind chill, barely hanging on to single digits if we don't slip down here to 0. We'll actually get cooler before sunrise at 7:32 this morning. That being said, at least the cold front is beginning to drop off to our southeast, where our snow came from yesterday, Pacific Northwest, and then came over Big Sky Country. They're in the midst of a huge warm up. Look at that right there. So as we get into Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see our temperatures improve as well. But even today, you know, we're going to linger right around the freezing point. We'll see some high to mid 30s in the southern portion, but I don't think we'll squeeze out any 40s with it. The wind will shift, come in from the south, and then we'll see the wind increase overnight to the point where we'll have some southerly gusts of 20 miles per hour. Still be very cool. And then as we get into Saturday, the gradual warm up begins. But if you have to be out and about early Saturday morning, We see little pockets, some possibility of some freezing rain, especially right over here, elevated areas throughout southwest Missouri. Work out to the west, it stays mainly dry, but then we don't see any of the yellow. We don't have a whole lot of hard rain coming for us. At some points during Saturday, it'll just maintain almost a drizzle, but it does just kind of linger. Nice thing is temperatures are going to be well above freezing for Saturday afternoon. 7-day forecast, like I said, that rain kind of sticks around all the way into Sunday morning. Then we got a little warm up on our hands for next week, so that'll be very, very pleasant with daily highs in the 50s, and look at those overnight lows finally. Get to hang out in the 30s. Time now to turn our attention to the KOAM News Now Facebook page and our morning Insta poll, as there were 2 jackpot winners in the $630 million Powerball lottery on Wednesday. Half of those winnings go to someone who bought a lotto ticket at a 7-Eleven in Sacramento, California. Marciela De La Cruz shows us how the winner, though, has yet to come forward.
It's a few days since the new year. And already,
this morning, somebody is sitting on a piece of paper in California worth $315 million.
this Sacramento convenience store has their first Powerball winner.
Man, I wish I would have won that. That's all I can say. But hey, that's good for them.
But they're still yet to be found.
We're excited this morning, just like everybody else, to try to find out who won. We're watching and waiting.
And after hearing the news about this lucky store,
I hope you're the lucky one.
many came out this morning to check their own tickets.
Last night and bought tickets, and I had a $300 scratch-off ticket, so I bought Super Lotto and the Power.
Others made their way out here to test their luck at the scratchers, which the owner says they've done pretty well with over the years.
That's how they always come and buy a lot of scratchers. We've sold big winners, but not like super big, but I think the biggest one was $60,000.
$13 winner. Money?
Currently, there are 23,000 places where you can buy a lottery ticket in California. Most are convenience stores.
Now get this, Wednesday marked the first time that someone has hit the jackpot since October 4th. That was 40 Powerball drawings ago. As far as the $630 million jackpot, it is the 7th largest in Powerball history. So, we all play the game whenever, whenever you're in line there, getting ready to buy your ticket. How would winning the lottery change your life? And we're having a little fun on this Friday. We got choices like quit your job, give it to charity, a shopping spree. Even I think some people would probably stay the same, and some people may invest it as well. 3 ways to connect each and every morning. Number 1, you can connect to us via our Facebook page at KOAM News Now. There's your website at the bottom, koamnewsnow.com/vote, or throughout the course of the show, if you got your phone handy, take a picture of that QR code. It will deliver you right to the Insta poll. We'll be back with Healthwatch next.
Make your home.
Topping Healthwatch this morning, a new study links the COVID-19 vaccine to a small increase in menstrual cycle length. And that's according to researchers at the Oregon Health and Science University in Portland. They found some women had an average menstrual cycle length of about 1 day longer than usual after getting a dose of COVID-19 vaccine. It appears to affect women who receive both doses of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine within 1 menstrual cycle. Cycle length increased for that group by an average of about 2 days. And there was not enough data to say how long the change lasted in other women. Experts say it's no cause for concern. The study found the change was only temporary and resolved within a couple of months. James Corden is the latest late-night TV host to get COVID-19. The Late Late Show announced on Instagram, the host announced Thursday that he had tested positive. He wrote that as a result, his show will be off the air for the next few days. Corden said he is fully vaccinated and boosted, and he feels completely fine. On Tuesday, Seth Meyers, host of NBC's Late Night with Seth Meyers, revealed he was positive for COVID. He canceled his shows for the rest of the week. And The Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon revealed this week that he too had COVID-19. And that was before Christmas, but he is now recovered. COVID-19 cases are surging in the U.S., and that's also the case in some jails. The St. Louis County Justice Center says its jail is experiencing an outbreak. At least 13% of inmates have tested positive as of Thursday. That number is likely to rise because others are showing symptoms. Among staff, the infection rate is roughly 8%. Most center workers are vaccinated, but most inmates are not. Bank of America is trying a new incentive to get its workers fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The company announced Wednesday it would donate $100 towards hunger relief for each U.S. employee who gets their COVID booster shot. Employees must show proof by updating their booster card info in the employee vaccine portal by the end of January. Bank of America said the charitable donation will go towards local food banks and hunger relief organizations. The company said the effort could direct up to $10 million to fight hunger across America. Bank of America does not have a vaccine mandate, but it strongly encourages employees to get fully vaccinated, including boosters. When the temperature dips, we tend to seek the warmth of the indoors. But getting outside this winter can be good for both your mental and physical health. Mandy Gaither explains.
If you're dodging the dipping temperatures, you may choose the couch over the cold.
It really decreases our happiness not to get outside.
But Dr. Stephanie Walsh with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Strong for Life says getting outdoors, braving lower temperatures is crucial to your mental and physical health.
Being outside, breathing fresh air, really, it changes everything, particularly your mood.
Walsh says going outdoors may also lower your risk of spreading germs, allowing you to keep your distance from others. Being active can also help supercharge your immune system for up to 24 hours.
We tend to think of it as adults as exercise, and remember that kids think of it as play. So reminding them go outside and play and have some fun.
That can also help you and your family catch those Z's.
The better sleep we get, the healthier we are, the more we're better able to fight disease.
While bundling up is important, Walsh says to wear layers. Try allowing your kids to choose their own winter weather attire.
If they're cold, well, they'll come back in and put more clothes on. Or if they're hot, it's okay for them to take off their hat.
So as the temperature drops, make sure you don't leave your health in the cold.
Well, something else to remember in the winter, you cannot catch a cold from the cold. It's the result of coming into contact with a virus. It's also important to continue to drink plenty of water. Dehydration can happen even when it's cold out. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
At Hardee's, there's so many tongue-teasing, wallet-pleasing ways to enjoy our...
Good morning, I'm Tanya Bach with your KOAM News Update. While snow has melted off many of the main roads in the area, there are still concerns as temperatures continue to drop. In Joplin, a number of the main roads cleared out as traffic increased and the sun broke through yesterday. But that melting combined with dropping temps could make roads hazardous again through the early morning hours. Officials with the Joplin Police Department say if you do go out, it's important to make sure that your cell phone is fully charged and you have an emergency kit in your vehicle. Community members in Joplin yesterday discussed the future of Memorial Hall. The Memorial Hall Citizens Committee held its second meeting of the year. In yesterday's meeting, they voted on co-chair members for the committee, setting up future meetings to get to the heart of the issues around the building. The committee plans to meet every Thursday at 4 p.m. Next week, they plan to discuss a bond that will be put up to voters in April. Here's Michael with today's forecast.
At least we get some sunshine, but it doesn't do much for us temperature-wise, as we're just going to linger in the 30s after a brutally cold morning. Winds pick up from the south later tonight, gusting up to 20 miles per hour. A little bit warmer over the weekend, but also some lingering rain from Saturday into Sunday. But we're well above the freezing mark, and so what we do see will stay as rain.
Coming up, winter weather left area roads snow-covered and icy in some places. Will today be any different?
Well, at least we don't have any snow falling from the sky, but now we've got to tolerate temperatures with wind chills in the single digits, meaning those roads are still going to have slick spots. We'll have the latest from the Skywatch Weather Center.
Also, the future of Joplin's Memorial Hall may soon be decided.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:30. I'm Tanya Bach. We'll get to those stories in just a moment, but first let's go to Michael Hayslip. And we've still got some pretty low temps out there, Michael.
Yeah, bitterly cold. And not only that, coming off of yesterday, and our road crews did yeoman's work out there, but still any slick spots that reemerge they're not going to go anywhere. Those icy spots that we have, Tanya, especially on side roads, county roads, they're not going to have a chance to thaw off. Probably won't until really tomorrow. Here's where we stand temperature-wise. Whole bunch of teens down to 10 degrees in Iola. Now remember, these are actual temperatures when we factor in the breeze. Now, it's beginning to shift. Eventually it'll work in from the south. But for the time being, we're going to watch these wind chills actually fall. Looks like the lowest one we have right now is 2 degrees in Fort Scott. Make sure the kiddos are bundled up. Make sure yourself is bundled up all throughout the course of our morning and even into our afternoon, because even with some sunshine, overcast skies right now, but even with a little afternoon sunshine, we're going to go low to mid 30s. That's about as good as we're going to see. Now, as we clear off overnight, the south wind is really going to help. It's going to increase to about 20 miles per hour as we get into Saturday. Saturday is also going to bring us some cloud cover. That's not necessarily a bad thing. We'll just take anything we can get right now to keep the heat on the ground, and that'll help us out. But you'll also notice Saturday morning, throw up a little bit of pink right there. So I want everybody, especially on the eastern edge of southwest Missouri, be ready for perhaps a little freezing drizzle. Everything else is going to be just some light rain. Maybe just some sprinkles as you work out to the west. But you notice it lingers all the way into Sunday morning. But the nice thing is, after Saturday morning, anything that falls down is going to remain as rain, as we will stay above the freezing mark for each daily high.
While roads are certainly better this morning than what they were yesterday, there are still concerns with today's cold temperatures. In Joplin, a number of the main roads cleared out as traffic increased and the sun broke through. But that melting combined with dropping temps can make roads hazardous again through our early morning hours.
Aware of that. If you have to get out, if you don't have to drive, don't drive. But if you find yourself driving, regardless of the category of roads you're on, you could encounter something like that. So I think drive accordingly, slow yourself down, give yourself plenty of time.
Officials with the Joplin Police Department say if you do go out, it's important to make sure that your cell phone is fully charged and you have an emergency kit in your vehicle. Well, the conditions are the same in Kansas. According to the state's road conditions website, candrive.org, most roads in southeast Kansas we're back to seasonal conditions. However, officials have the same concerns about roads refreezing this morning, and they urge drivers to take it slow.
I'd just say for the traveling public, just because it doesn't seem significant doesn't mean it can't be treacherous. So people just really need to slow down out there and, take their time and don't crowd the snowplows.
You can find links to area road conditions at koamnewsnow.com. Firefighters in Miami, Oklahoma discovered the body of a man while responding to a call. It happened last night on G Street Southwest when the department was called to a house fire. Firefighters found the body of a male inside one of the rooms. There was no power to the house, and it appears it was being warmed with a portable heater. While the state fire marshal investigates the cause of the fire and detectives from the Miami Police Department investigate the cause of death, they say there does not appear to be signs of foul play. Authorities have not released the identity of the man. A Tulsa, Oklahoma man is dead after a crash on I-44 in Lawrence County, Missouri. Missouri Highway Patrol says a semi hit the rear of a pickup driven by Luis Pacheco Lopez. Pacheco Lopez was thrown from his vehicle and died at the scene. And police say 2 suspects fired 8 gunshots late Tuesday night in Independence, Kansas. No one was hurt. Now police say 2 men are in custody at the Montgomery County Jail. Formal charges have not been filed. Well, as more people are without jobs, businesses are seeking employees. That includes Ajinomoto Foods in Joplin and Carthage. The frozen food manufacturer yesterday hosted a job fair at Carthage's Memorial Hall. Officials say they're hiring for multiple positions. Ajinomoto currently operates 9 factories in the U.S., including Carthage and Joplin, and employs a total of 2,800 people. Community members in Joplin discussed the future of Memorial Hall. The Memorial Hall Citizens Committee held its 2nd meeting of the year. In yesterday's get-together, the committee voted on co-chairs to set up future meetings to get to the heart of the issues around the building.
A wide variety of individuals from our community. You have every aspect that you really would like to see on a committee, and they have a lot of questions, which is what we want, and they're they're very passionate about Memorial Hall and what Memorial Hall can be.
The committee plans to meet every Thursday afternoon at 4. Next week, it plans to discuss a bond that will be put to voters in April. Well, there will be some more traffic impacts from the 32nd Street widening project in Joplin. Starting Monday, West 32nd Street from Schiffer-Decker to the entrance of Westbury Square is closed. Detour routes will be posted and property owners will be allowed access at all times. The closure is expected to last until April. It's one of many closures that will happen consecutively on different sections of 32nd Street as the city continues its widening project. It's expected to be wrapped up in summer of 2023. Here's Michael with a look at your forecast.
Well, we know it's cold. That is no secret for sure. Anywhere from about 10 to 16 degrees, and it is also cloudy. We'll get a better shot of that when we get to sunrise at 7:32 over Joplin, and we'll get some afternoon sunshine that'll help us work up into the low to mid 30s, but that doesn't really help us with a huge kind of melt. The wind shifts to the south, working at 20 miles per hour overnight, finally lifting into the 40s with rain on Saturday and Sunday.
That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, we meet a mother who creates a billboard in Times Square to help her daughter find love. Plus, Serbian fans weigh in on Australia's decision to revoke Novak Djokovic's visa ahead of the Australian Open. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Stephen Charles.
Topping World Watch, it's been 7 years since attackers forced their way into the Charlie Hebdo offices in Paris, killing 12 members of the staff. The victims included the magazine's editor and several cartoonists and columnists. It was the first of a series of attacks that shook Paris in January 2015. Over the next couple of days, a policewoman was shot dead, and then multiple people were held hostage at a supermarket in eastern Paris. In total, 17 people died in the terror attacks in France's capital city that month. Hong Kong Disneyland is temporarily closing due to a surge in COVID-19 cases. The parks say the government is requiring it to shut down. January 20th is when it hopes to reopen. Hong Kong Disneyland says it will extend passes for people who already bought tickets. The closure does not include its hotels. In Serbia, there are mixed opinions to the revocation of Novak Djokovic's visa ahead of the Australian Open. Igor Beserminyi has more from Belgrade.
Right now I'm in front of the Nikola Tesla airport here in Belgrade. This is the location where probably thousands of Novak Djokovic's fans would come to support him and to wait for him on his arrival if it turns out that Novak has to come back from Australia here to Belgrade. However, whether this is going to happen or not, we don't know, and we will not know before Monday, because the latest information is that the court will give their final decision on Novak's appeal on Monday. Serbian media has been covering this story in the past 24 hours. Of course, there are mixed opinions. Some people believe that Novak made this whole situation unnecessarily difficult for himself, because if he just took the vaccine, he would be able to pass the Australian border and participate in the upcoming Australian Open. But of course, this all comes down to Novak's personal decision, probably not to take the vaccine. Others believe that the situation is complicated and that the Australian authorities should have allowed Novak to pass the border, because he apparently had the valid visa and he apparently had all the necessary papers and documentation and the medical exemption to pass the Australian border. Some media have reported that few other tennis players, but we don't know their names, have passed the Australian borders with the same paper that Novak has. But of course, at this point, we have a lot of information coming, and I guess in the next couple of days, we will know what is the real truth behind this situation. In the past few hours, Novak's father, Srđan Djokovic, was very vocal in condemning the decision of Australian authorities. he even invited Serbian people through his Instagram profile to come and wait for Novak once he comes back to Serbia. However, whether this is going to happen or not, we don't know, and we will not know before Monday, because the court will give the final decision on Novak's appeal on Monday. Even Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić expressed his support for Novak Djokovic, repeating that Serbian people will always be behind him.
A Canadian farmer has turned his land into a new home for a rare breed of cows. Rusty Bitterman runs Restaurant Farm in Prince Edward Island. Now, Bitterman keeps a number of heritage breeds of livestock, including Kerry cattle. Kerry cattle are one of the oldest breeds of European dairy cattle, known for their black hair and horns. They can also thrive on small pastures, producing milk that's high in butterfat and good for cheeses and yogurts. The cows were originally found in Ireland, but their numbers have been dwindling. Bitterman says less than 100 breeding females exist in North America and only about 300 in Ireland. His herd has 8 Kerry females and 3 Kerry bulls, along with a few calves. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Let's toss it over to Michael for something to talk about.
Thank you, Tanya. This morning on the KOAM News Now Facebook page in our morning Insta poll, winning the lottery. Earlier this week, 2 people split the 7th largest Powerball drawing in that specific lottery's history, clocked in at a whopping $630 million. The winners have a cash option. You can split $450 mil, all in a day's work. One winning ticket came from Wisconsin, the other from California. So far, neither person has been identified. Of course, it can and will change your life. I hope if you ever win, it changes it for the good. I'm sure we all know the stories about how some people do not do well with their newfound wealth. Our question to you, how would winning the lottery change your life? And 42% of you say right now, right now, everything would stay the same. 34% of you, if we don't see you at work one day mysteriously coming off of a Powerball drawing, we will know that we'll come knocking at your door. And 15% of you say give to charity. 3 ways to connect via our Facebook page. You can go straight to the poll, koamnewsnow.com/vote, or the QR code. If you take a picture of that with your phone, it will deliver you straight to the Insta poll. We'll be back with the news you need to know before you head out the door right after this.
Printing services are available at the
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A Tulsa, Oklahoma man is dead after a crash on I-44 in Lawrence County, Missouri. The Missouri Highway Patrol says a semi hit the rear of a pickup driven by Luis Pacheco Lopez. Pacheco Lopez was thrown from his vehicle and died at the scene. There will be some more traffic impacts from the 32nd Street Widening project in Joplin. Starting Monday, West 32nd Street from Schifferdecker to the entrance of Westbury Square will be closed. Detour routes will be posted and property owners will be allowed access at all times. The closure is expected to last until April. It's one of many closures that will happen consecutively on different sections of 32nd Street as the city continues its widening project. It's expected to be wrapped up in summer of 2023. While snow has melted off many of the main roads in the area, there are still concerns as the temperatures continue to drop. In Joplin, a number of the main roads cleared out as traffic increased and the sun broke through. That melting combined with dropping temps could make roads hazardous again through the early morning hours. Officials with the Joplin Police Department say if you do go out, it's important to make sure that your cell phone is fully charged and you have an emergency kit in your vehicle. Community members in Joplin yesterday discussed the future of Memorial Hall. The Memorial Hall Citizens Committee held its second meeting of the year. In yesterday's meeting, they voted on the co-chair members for the committee, setting up future meetings to get to the heart of the issues around the building. The committee plans to meet every Thursday at 4 p.m. Next week, they plan to discuss a bond that will be put up to voters in April. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And when you do, grab a long sleeve shirt and a sweatshirt and a jacket and then another jacket over it and a hat and gloves and a scarf. Look at those wind chills. And they're dropping. Now we've got a 2-degree reading in Fort Scott, a whole bunch of 3s in Carthage, Monette, and Cassville, and so it's going to take a while to rebound. Sunrise at 7:32, then we can begin finally a push into the 30s.
Your New Year's resolution may be to find love this year, but what lengths would you be willing to go to find it? One woman is advertising her single status in a place where millions of people will see it. Well, actually, her mom is. Jen Sullivan explains.
New York's Times Square is famous for transforming the city landscape in a flashy ads, from Broadway shows to iconic brands. But it's a different kind of billboard that's catching the eye of many. An ad that reads, "Date my daughter."
I had that moment of, oh my gosh, like, what are people going to think about this?
That smiling face is Molly Davis, a Boston woman looking for love. The person who created the ad, her mother.
That's what I really want from Molly is, the sense of security.
While you may think this is a funny attempt to lure in suitors to date Molly, the real story behind this is much deeper.
I'm really hoping that Molly finds a man who has this lovely family, so that when I'm gone, she still has a nice, loving family.
In June of 2020, Beth Davis was diagnosed a second time with metastatic breast cancer that has since spread to her bones. A devastating diagnosis.
It's a tough time in anyone's life finding out that news. Molly's been my wingman through, taking me to appointments even this week. And now it's my turn to be her wingman and try to find her love.
While Beth may be getting weaker, the yearning for her daughter to find love grows stronger. So she reached out to the app Wingman, a dating site where family and friends get to play your matchmaker. Her words tugged at the CEO's heart and turned this story into the billboard you now see in Times Square.
Because someone asked me, they're like, "Are you hoping for an engagement?" And I was like, I'm not. I've never been, marriage, engagement. I would love, a loving partner.
In a time that feels so dark in their lives, those three words light up this skyline and hopefully somebody's heart. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
What a sweet story. We'll be back with another look at your winter weather forecast right after this.
We're going to harp on it all morning long about how dangerously cold it is outside. Anywhere from about 10 to 16 degrees is as good as we get. Factor in the wind, and here's what it feels like. We have seen no rebound whatsoever. As a matter of fact, most of our communities have dropped a degree or two, so single digits abound. Not going to be surprised if we don't throw up a zero here by the end of the show. We also have overcast skies. Now, eventually we'll get a little break in them. But that's where we're going to start with sunrise here at 7:32. Now, as we push toward the weekend, we're going to pick up a little bit of rain. It'll begin on Saturday morning. You'll notice it throws up a little pink in there, an indicator of some freezing drizzle until we can get into the 40s Saturday and Sunday afternoon.
Coming up, winter weather leaves area roads snow-covered and icy in some places. Will today be any different?
Be a little bit better, Tanya, as far as the lack of snow, but as far as our temperatures go, icy spots will remain. We'll have the latest from the Skywatch Weather Center.
Also, the future of Joplin's Memorial Hall may soon be decided.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach. We'll have those stories on the way, but first, let's go to Michael with a look at those frigid cold temps.
Oh my goodness, Tanya, we're slipping into single digits, not wind chills. These are actual temperatures. Iola now down to 9 degrees. Everybody else ranging from about, say 11 to 16 is as good as we have right now. And even when we get to 7:32 and sunrise over Joplin, we're not going to get a whole lot of sunshine early. We're going to have to wait till about late morning hours. Nice thing is our interstates, at least, and our main U.S. highways, those have been cleared off, and we don't have any precipitation to deal with for today. Now, still, those county roads, those side roads and whatnot, those slick spots are going to remain, and they're going to remain a while because it's going to take us until this afternoon before we get up to 32 degrees, and even then, really not much of a melt. Look at the wind chills right now, a whole bunch of single digits. We've got nobody left in double digits as far as wind chills go. Afternoon planner with the sunshine and a nice shift to the south wind. That'll play a key factor. Will get us into the low to mid 30s, and then overnight, south wind continues to persist, gusting up to 20 miles per hour. as we work from Friday into Saturday. We've got some Gulf moisture that begins to move up here early Saturday morning. And I want to point out, if you have to be out and about early Saturday, pick up a little freezing drizzle right there, especially for our eastern counties of southwest Missouri. Everybody else should remain rain. Now, as this thing continues to move from southwest up to northeast, it's not a hard rain by any means, but it just hangs on and persists all the way into Sunday morning. But after we get up into the 40s there on Saturday and Sunday, we're in the clear. Any precipitation that does fall will remain as rain. Then we begin to clear off Sunday afternoon and actually warm up into the 50s for the middle of next week.
Hey, I can't complain about that warm up. While roads are certainly better this morning than what they were yesterday, there are still concerns with today's cold temps. In Joplin, a number of the main roads cleared out as traffic increased and the sun broke through. But that melting yesterday combined with dropping temps can make roads hazardous again through the early morning hours.
Be aware of that. If you have to get out, if you don't have to drive, don't drive. But if you find yourself driving, regardless of the category of roads you're on, you could encounter something like that. So I think drive accordingly, slow yourself down, give yourself plenty of time.
Officials with the Joplin Police Department say if you do go out, it's important to make sure that your cell phone is fully charged and you have an emergency kit in your vehicle. Well, the conditions are the same in Kansas. According to the state's road conditions website, candrive.org, most roads in southeast Kansas were back to seasonal conditions. However, officials have the same concerns about roads refreezing this morning. They urge drivers to take it slow.
I'd just say for the traveling public, just because it doesn't seem significant doesn't mean it can't be treacherous. So people just really need to slow down out there and, take their time and don't crowd the snowplows.
You can find links to area road conditions at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, firefighters in Miami, Oklahoma discovered the body of a man while responding to a call. It happened last night on G Street Southwest when the department was called to a house fire. Firefighters found the body of a male inside one of the rooms. There was no power to the house, and it appears it was being warmed with a portable heater. Well, the state fire marshal investigates the cause of the fire, and detectives from the Miami Police Department investigate the cause of death. They say there does not appear to be signs of foul play. Authorities have not released the identity of the man. A Tulsa, Oklahoma man is dead after a crash on I-44 in Lawrence County, Missouri. Missouri Highway Patrol says a semi hit the rear of a pickup driven by Luis Pacheco Lopez. Pacheco Lopez was thrown from his vehicle and died at the scene. Police say 2 suspects fired 8 gunshots late Tuesday night in Independence, Kansas. No one was hurt, and now police say 2 men are in custody at the Montgomery County Jail. Former charges have not been filed. Community members in Joplin discussed the future of Memorial Hall. The Memorial Hall Citizens Committee held its second meeting of the year. In yesterday's get-together, the committee voted on co-chairs to set up future meetings to get to the heart of the issues around the building.
It's a wide variety of individuals from our community. You have every aspect that you really would like to see on the committee, and they have a lot of questions, which is what we want, and they're very passionate about Memorial Hall and what Memorial Hall can be.
The committee plans to meet every Thursday afternoon at 4. Next week, it plans to discuss a bond that will be put to voters in April. There will be some more traffic impacts from the 32nd Street Widening project in Joplin. Starting Monday, West 32nd Street from Schiffer-Decker to the entrance of Westbury Square is closed. Detour routes will be posted and property owners will be allowed access at all times. The closure is expected to last until April. It's one of many closures that will happen consecutively on different sections of 32nd Street as the city continues its widening project. It's expected to be wrapped up in summer 2023. Well, do you have a favorite local business you'd like to see recognized on the air? And we want your help to recognize the 4 states' finest. Head over to KOAMnewsnow.com/finest and during this month, nominate your favorite 4-state businesses. Use your browser or just snap a picture of our QR code with your phone and you'll go right to the website. Once there, you'll find several categories to choose from. This is all chosen by you, so be sure to join in on the nomination process this month. It's a great way to show your love and appreciation for your favorite local business And each week, one lucky viewer who nominates a business will receive $100. So don't wait. Tell us about the 4 states' finest now. 6:07.
A bad deal right there.
Yeah.
$100 just to take part and nominate. Well, I mean, out of a random drawing. You have a chance to win $100, is that right?
That's right.
That ain't bad.
Too bad we're not eligible for that.
That ain't bad. We're not?
Well, we're employees. So.
Oh, is that how that works? My bad. Carrie, we're back to playing Powerball. Here we go.
We can do that.
Temperature is as low as 9 degrees right now in Iola. It's going to be a long time before we get close to the freezing mark. We will get some afternoon sunshine. Low to mid 30s though. South wind, eventually 40s over the weekend. But remember, we get some light morning rain on Saturday. It's very scattered. It's not going to be widespread. It's not thunderstorm activity. But it does kind of linger and hang on all the way to Sunday morning.
And that's a look at this morning's top stories in weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, unruly passengers and the unfriendly skies. We find out the #1 reason for airline bad behavior. Plus, what the future of TV watching may look like and why you might not even have a screen. And someone's in the money. We're just not sure who it is as of yet. Big bucks in the Powerball lottery. And what would you use it for? You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Good luck.
In Consumer Watch this morning, the friendly skies had some not so friendly passengers in 2021. According to the FAA, nearly 6,000 people were reported for unruly behavior last year. The vast majority of the incidents were over mask. Since early last year, the FAA has adopted stricter penalties for passengers, including fines up to $37,000. Mortgage rates have surpassed 2021 levels, and they're still climbing. The 30-year fixed rate average 3.22% this week, up from 3.11% last week. The National Association of Realtors estimates it to be about 3.7% by the end of 2022. Another economic analyst predicts it could reach nearly 4%. Rates have been expected to rise as the economy improves and inflation looms. Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas has always been a showcase for the latest in television technology. That includes larger screens, and as Danya Bacchus shows us, a TV that does not even need a screen.
New televisions are back at CES and in a big way.
How do you sum up what you're seeing in terms of televisions for 2022?
Well, the thing about TVs this year is that they're getting bigger and brighter and actually more expensive.
CNET's David Katzmeyer says that includes this 97-inch LG OLED TV. There's no price tag yet, but a previous 88-inch version sold for $30,000.
The nature of OLED is that it's a self-emissive technology, meaning it needs no backlight like an LCD. So that means movies really pop.
Tcl is revealing a 98-inch TV that uses a different QLED technology for around $8,000. The good news, the smaller the screen, the smaller the price tag.
We've seen some OLED TVs, the smaller ones, like 48-inch sizes, down under $1,000, which is very new for that category.
It's really easy.
Samsung is changing controls for TVs. Last year, the company introduced a solar-powered remote. This year, there's a new version that can stay charged with Wi-Fi.
They are saying that it can harvest RF waves from like your Wi-Fi router and use those to recharge the battery in your remote.
Samsung is also making TV more portable. The $900 freestyle projector can place entertainment or gaming just about anywhere. LG believes the future of TV viewing could be relaxing in a high-tech recliner with a curved display that rotates. And curved screens could make riding a stationary bike feel more immersive. These are just concepts for now. It's not clear if or when they will actually hit the market.
That's it for Consumer Watch. We'll be right back.
It'll be 6:17 by the time we wrap up weather, so let's roll a little weather on the 7s. We've been holding steady, but for sure the cold front has now officially decided to camp over us. Temperatures ranging from 9 to 16 degrees. Overcast skies. We will get a little break in the clouds here later this morning and eventually afternoon sunshine, but that's how we're starting off. The great thing is, as far as interstate travel goes or any of our U.S. highways, our road crews have done such a fabulous job clearing them off that we're not going to have anything throughout the Midwest if you have to be on the road. That being said, our county roads, our side streets, those slick spots are going to remain because we're not going to get close to the freezing mark until we get to later this afternoon. And when you send the kids out the door, make sure that they have multiple layers on, as this can be dangerously cold for exposed skin. Over the afternoon, we'll go low to mid 30s. Top out 37, 38 is about as good as we're going to see. Don't think we'll crack any 40-degree numbers. And then as we work into Saturday, we actually get some good south wind that'll blow in. We'll gust about 20 miles per hour. Also, Saturday morning, especially if you're on the eastern edge of southwest Missouri, I want you to watch this precipitation that comes in from the Gulf as we see little pops of freezing drizzle. That's indicated there in pink. Now, for the most part, it's going to be patchy Saturday morning rain, nothing severe and relatively light. But you notice the timing of it. It just doesn't want to go away and lingers all the way into Sunday. Now, here's the nice thing about Saturday and Sunday, especially our afternoon hours. We will be able to make it up into the 40s, and anything that sticks around from Saturday night into Sunday morning will remain as rain with an overnight low of only 38. Hospitals across America are seeing an increased need for direct patient care due to increasing COVID-19 hospitalizations. And now the problem hitting right down the road from us in Wichita. Abby Higginbotham has the story on why the Kansas Hospital Association says why it's seeing shortages.
Most hospitals in Kansas are at capacity, and with an already limited amount of healthcare workers, hospitals are in a crisis. Cindy Samuelson with the Kansas Hospital Association says one of the reasons why: burnout.
Our staff have been working in this pandemic for more than we ever imagined they would be, and they have been running a sprint at the length of a marathon.
On top of burnout, the increase in COVID-19 has made doctors and nurses unable to provide care while having to quarantine after being in contact with the infected.
When a hospital worker has COVID, they have to be quarantined, and if unfortunately they get ill, they have to be out for work too. So that also is impacting our healthcare workforce.
This has caused so much havoc at hospitals that Governor Laura Kelly announced a disaster declaration that will provide hospitals with temporary regulatory flexibilities to best care for their patients. For example, advanced practice nurses will now be able to collect the throat swabs for COVID-19 testing, allowing doctors to put their attention on more critical patients.
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly says the disaster declaration will be kept in place for 15 days until lawmakers reconvene and present her a bill. Until then, the Kansas Hospital Association strongly encourages Kansans to take steps to protect their health and help relieve the stress on the healthcare system. We'll be back with Healthwatch right after this.
It's a new
Topping Healthwatch this morning, the COVID pandemic is negatively impacting the mental health of young cancer patients. A study published in Psycho-Oncology found cancer patients between ages of 15 and 39 were 85% more likely to experience high psychological distress than before the pandemic. Doctors say social isolation and impaired cancer care are due to the pandemic are likely to blame. U.S. is imposing new COVID-19 restrictions on military bases. The U.S. forces Japan says all personnel have to wear masks while off base, regardless of vaccination status. COVID-19 tests will also be required before arrival, upon arrival, and while in Japan. This decision comes after local governments criticized the U.S. military for failing to contain the spread of the virus at military bases. Japan has seen a rise in COVID-19 cases lately, particularly in Okinawa. Well, former security guard at a hospital files a lawsuit for intolerable working conditions. She says she was ordered to clean a malfunctioning freezer filled with decomposing dead bodies. The hospital says their morgue is small and is overwhelmed because of the pandemic. Nicole Comstock has the story from.
Sometimes your gut instinct is stronger than what your superiors try to tell you.
If someone in the nursing department didn't want to touch the bodies, how am I supposed to feel safe touching those bodies?
But that's exactly what this former lead security guard says she was ordered to do at Memorial Hospital of Gardena. Handle the decomposing bodies of deceased COVID patients, clean the outdoor freezer they were leaking fluids into, then rewrap them and put them back inside.
The mortuary that picked up the body didn't want to pick up the body due to the fact of the conditions it was in.
She says she told her superiors numerous times that the freezer was not cold enough and needed to be repaired. And although they sent an engineer to look at it once, she says they told her it was working fine. The hospital admitted they'd had some of the bodies in the mobile freezers for months, but denied they were mishandled or allowed to thaw out.
It got worse and worse until now they just not a body no more. They just blood, fluids, and rubbery skin.
Our helicopter captured other security guards doing the work, but because this security guard and others refused to without proper training in PPE, she says her bosses took disciplinary action.
Yes, we did get threatened. They said we was on a 30-day notice due to the fact we didn't touch the bodies.
The supervisor was accusing my client and her coworkers of being lazy. Oh, you guys just complain about everything.
Attorney Jonathan Roven with Johnny Law has now filed a civil lawsuit on her behalf for intolerable working conditions.
In a lot of these situations, companies try and cut corners and try and place the blame on other people.
He says the hospital should have immediately obtained a replacement freezer and hired trained medical professionals to handle the bodies properly.
They didn't care about my safety.
That's why she eventually resigned, out of respect for herself and the patients who passed away.
It wasn't right. Like, these are people's loved ones.
Hospital officials say they did not do anything outside their protocol or the law. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Definite chill in our Friday air. Temperatures right now down as low as 8 degrees in Iola. And it's an indicator that we've actually lost 2 to 3 degrees in really the last 90 minutes. So we're not going to stabilize here till probably about 8 o'clock. So we'll continue to drop. What's the difference right now between 8 and 16? To be honest with you. So everybody please have multi-layers on, especially for the kiddos headed out to the bus stop. This afternoon, low to mid 30s, sunshine, good south wind, and then rain kicks in for Saturday all the way to Sunday.
KOAM.
Coming up, winter weather leaves area roads snow-covered and icy in some places. Will today be any different?
It will be, Tanya, different in the fact that we won't have to tolerate any snow, but now we've got to make it through dangerously low temperatures. We'll have the latest from the Skywatch Weather Center.
Also, the future of Joplin's Memorial Hall may soon be decided.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Tanya Bach. We're going to go straight to this morning, find out driving conditions with Michael.
Didn't like that. You didn't like that line I wrote for you.
I think it was missing a word or something, but that's okay.
We're gonna rock some driving conditions. We're gonna give a shout out to all the city, county, and state workers that were out there plowing those roads yesterday. And you know, while the accumulation numbers weren't too big, right now our interstates, our U.S. highways, most of our state highways are looking absolutely great. But Tanya, here's the key factor. Well, if you got to go anywhere in the Midwest, you're not going to run into any precipitation. The problem is those slick spots that still remain, county roads, side roads, those aren't going to melt anytime soon. These are our wind chill numbers. We're now down to 2 degrees in Fort Scott. Everybody just at single digits. Our actual temperatures a far cry away from the magical 32-degree mark. As a matter of fact, speaking of around the freezing mark, barely getting there. And we'll throw up some 37s down in the southern portion of the 4 states this afternoon. But for the most part, it's going to be in between about 32 and 35. South wind will help a little bit. And then as we graduate into Saturday morning, south wind picks up, comes in at 20 miles per hour. But what that also does is feed us a little Gulf moisture. So as it works in from the south, we see some specks of pink begin to pop up, indicating freezing drizzle for early Saturday morning, especially for the eastern portion of southwest Missouri. Scattered rain throughout, and you'll notice the rain up to the north just kind of hangs and lingers. Everything else moves from southwest to northeast, and it sticks around all the way into Sunday morning. A positive aspect about Saturday night into Sunday, we avoid going below the freezing mark. It will stay as rain, no severe thunderstorm activity, just some good old-fashioned showers, and then we're back up into the 50s by the middle of next week.
I cannot wait for that. Well, roads are certainly better this morning than what they were yesterday. There are still concerns with today's cold temps. In Joplin, a number of the main roads cleared out as traffic increased and the sun broke through yesterday. But that melting combined with dropping temps can make roads hazardous again through our early morning hours. The conditions are the same in Kansas. According to the state's road conditions website, candrive.org, most roads in southeast Kansas were back to seasonal conditions.
Be aware of that. If you have to get out, if you don't have to drive, don't drive. But if you find yourself driving, regardless of the category of roads you're on, you could encounter something like that. So I think drive accordingly, slow yourself down, give yourself plenty of time.
You can find links to area road conditions at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, firefighters in Miami, Oklahoma discovered the body of a man while responding to a call. It happened last night on G Street Southwest when the department was called to a house fire. Firefighters found the body of a male inside one of the rooms. There was no power to the house, and it appears it was being warmed with a portable heater. While the state fire marshal investigates the cause of the fire and detectives from the Miami Police Department investigate the cause of death, they say there does not appear to be signs of foul play. Authorities have not released the identity of the man. A Tulsa, Oklahoma man is dead after a crash on I-44 in Lawrence County, Missouri. Missouri Highway Patrol says a semi hit the rear of a pickup truck driven by Luis Pacheco Lopez. Pacheco Lopez was thrown from his vehicle and died at the scene. Police say 2 suspects fired 8 gunshots late Tuesday night in Independence, Kansas. No one was hurt, and now police say 2 men are in custody at the Montgomery County Jail. Formal charges have not been filed. Well, as more people are without jobs, businesses are seeking employees, and that includes Ajinomoto Foods in Joplin and Carthage. The frozen food manufacturer hosted a job fair at Carthage's Memorial Hall yesterday. Officials say they're hiring for multiple positions. Ajinomoto currently operates 9 factories in the U.S., including Carthage and Joplin, and employs a total of 2,800 people. Community members in Joplin discussed the future of Memorial Hall. The Memorial Hall Citizens Committee held its 2nd meeting of the year. And yesterday's get-together, the committee voted on co-chairs to set up future meetings to get to the heart of the issues around the building.
It's a wide variety of individuals from our community. You have every aspect that you really would like to see on a committee, and you know they have a lot of questions, which is what we want, and they're very passionate about Memorial Hall and what Memorial Hall can be.
Committee plans to meet every Thursday afternoon at 4. Next week they plan to discuss a bond that goes before voters in April. Well, the Imagine Pittsburgh Committee gave an update on future plans in the city. The group hosted a town hall to discuss, among other things, a proposed $16 million school bond and the Pitt Can initiative. The goal of the initiative is to highlight the positive things happening in the city, and they hope it will encourage more people to move to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh has gained a lot of ground in the last few years. It's becoming a desirable place for people to move to, retire, work at, and it's a well-kept secret here that we want the rest of the world to know.
The proposed school bond would fund improvements to Pittsburgh Middle School. Voters will decide on it on the 18th. Well, there will be some more traffic impacts from the 32nd Street widening project in Joplin. Starting Monday, West 32nd Street from Schifferdecker to the entrance of Westbury Square is closed. Detour routes will be posted and property owners will be allowed access at all times. Closure is expected to last until April. It's one of many closures that will happen consecutively on different sections of 32nd Street as the city continues its widening project. It's expected to be wrapped up in summer of 2023. Well, do you have a favorite local business you'd like to see recognized on the air? We want your help to recognize the 4 states' finest. Head over to KOAMnewsnow.com/finest, and during this month, nominate your favorite 4 state businesses. Use your browser or just snap a picture of our QR code with your phone and you'll go right to our website. Once there, you'll find several categories to choose from. This is all chosen by you, so be sure to join in on the nomination process this month. It's a great way to show your love and appreciation for your favorite local business, and each week, one lucky viewer who nominates a business will receive $100. So don't wait. Tell us about the 4 states' finest now. 607.
You get temperatures this cold and exposed skin for any prolonged period of time can result in frostbite and or hypothermia. And I say that as a reminder, especially for the kiddos. Tell them when they go out to the bus stop, you do not take off your hat, you do not take off your gloves. I'm just thinking about how this works. I know how this works all too well. 7-day forecast lifts us up into the mid-30s later on this afternoon with sunny skies. Rain begins early Saturday morning and takes us all the way to Sunday.
At our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, the vaccine mandate debate makes its way to the highest court in the land. We're going to show you what's at stake. Plus, we want to know what you would do if you had millions of dollars. More KOAM Morning News right after this.
Mahomes, Kelsey, and
Topping Nation Watch this morning, will your company require you to get a COVID-19 vaccine or get tested every week? That's what the Supreme Court is considering starting this morning. In fact, justices will look at 2 of the federal government's vaccine mandates. Britt Conway shows us how what they decide could have long-term implications beyond vaccines.
The vaccine mandate debate, front and center. Today, the Supreme Court will consider 2 of President Joe Biden's controversial COVID-19 vaccine mandates, the vaccine or testing requirement for employees of large businesses, and the vaccine mandate for healthcare providers who get funding through Medicare or Medicaid. If you're thinking, wait, hasn't the Supreme Court already decided on some of these mandates? You're right, they have. But these cases are a bit different because they involve federal agencies, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, and the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services, and whether they have the kind of authority to issue these mandates. The states challenging them believe the mandates are unconstitutional because they disregard state sovereignty. The Department of Justice will argue the mandates are critical to the country's COVID-19 response and recovery. With White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki saying the need and urgency for these policies is greater than ever, and we are confident in the legal authority for both policies. The Supreme Court will have to determine whether the mandates should take effect while the questions of legality and constitutionality continue to play out. Whatever the justices decide, it might foreshadow the way the court could handle future cases regarding executive power. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
United States Postal Service is requesting a temporary waiver from President Biden's vaccine mandate. Deputy Postmaster General Douglas Tolino sent a letter to OSHA expressing his concerns over the impact of the mandate on staffing. The mandate takes effect January 10th, but the post office wants a temporary waiver to extend the mandate deadline for 120 days and remain suspended until courts decide on the legality of the vaccine requirement. That's a look at today's top national stories. Let's check back in with Michael for our Something to Talk About.
Thank you, Tanya. This morning on the KOAM News Now Facebook page and our morning Insta poll, we're talking about winning the lottery. As earlier this week, 2 people split the 7th largest Powerball drawing in that particular lotto history, clocked in at a whopping $630 million. And the winners have a cash option of splitting $450 million. You got one winning ticket that came from Wisconsin, the other came from California, but so far, neither of the winners have been identified. Of course, winning the lottery gonna change your life some form or fashion. And while the thought may be to quit your job, I tell you what, Spanish television reporter in 2019 appeared to do just that live on air after getting a winning lottery ticket. Later discovered her payout was only about less than $6,000. Make sure you hit the big one if you're ever going to walk into the boss's office and stomp out. Our question for you this morning, how would winning the lottery change your life? This is pretty interesting right here because 42% of you say really nothing would change. It would stay the same. And then coming in kind of a distant second place, only 20% say quit your job. 16% say charity would be first on your mind, and another 16% are going to go the investment route. You can take part each and every morning. We've got the KOAM News Now Facebook page. You can go directly to the poll, koamnewsnow.com/vote, and our QR code. If you have your phone handy, take a picture of that, and it will deliver you right to our poll each and every morning. We're going to come back and celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, but first, let's go to New York and check in with Gail.
Hello to you, I'm Gail Kane. Coming up on CBS Mornings, comedian Jordan Klepper shares a new essay for CBS Mornings exploring if satire can help our country move forward. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
Nominate your Ford State.
We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, David Myers, a member of the United States Army in 1969 and 1970. He served in the Vietnam War, where he received 3 Bronze Stars, his hometown, Altamont, Kansas. We thank you, David Myers, today's four-state hero.
Birthday list begins with Jackson Dale Hutching out there on the swing. That's a good picture right there. Jackson Dale, a happy first to you, my friend in Columbus.
All right. And then we have Kylan Allen turning 8 years old, sporting the
That's a cool sweater.
cool sweater there.
I like that.
I would not call that an ugly Christmas sweater. It's kind of cute. And Kylan is in Carl Junction.
Let's run out to Seneca because Chief Miller celebrating his 8th birthday. A trip to Arrowhead. Can't beat that. And these happy birthday wishes coming from Daddy, Maddie, Emma, and Nanny.
All right. Jackson Joe Barcelona celebrating birthday number 12 this year. Hope it's a great one for you, Jackson.
Already knows how to wear the eye black. I like that. Emmeline Wallane. Emmeline, a happy 13th birthday. We got a slew of new teenagers here this morning. This is great. Emmeline is celebrating in Fairland. Her birthday's coming up this weekend. And Emmeline, I want you to have a wonderful birthday weekend with love from Mom, Isabella, and Nanny again.
All right.
We've got nannies all over the place this morning.
I like that. And let's see, we've got Aubrey Humble. Welcome to the teenage years, Aubrey, in Pittsburgh. I like that pick.
We will keep this 13 theme going with Jeremy Johnson. Already bagging a good one right there. Jeremy, I want you to have a marvelous birthday, kiddo. And remember, if you ever want to drop jerky off at the station, it's always welcome.
Sounds like a plan.
Backstrap, fillets.
Michael's mouth is watering. All right. Matt Wisdom, happy birthday number 29.
Aww.
It looks like you've got a gift there in your arms. We've got birthday wishes coming from your wife and Sawyer.
I bet that's Sawyer in his arms right there. That's great. Ashley Little is turning 29, and she not only takes care of that kiddo right there, she actually has a slew of kiddos that she takes care of, because Ashley, I'm told, is one awesome kindergarten teacher. So Ashley, number 1, thank you for educating the young ones of the 4 states, and number 2, a happy birthday in Girard.
Awesome. All right, Alan Arthur turning 39 years old this year. All right.
That's a good one.
That's a cool picture.
It's
me wanna
warm
go to the
too
ocean.
when that picture was taken. Fawn Zappa, a happy 64th birthday. Miss Fawn, she celebrates in Loma Linda.
Jim Mingarelli turning 68 years old this year. Happy birthday, Jim, in Girard.
Happy birthday, Mr. Mingarelli. Well, look at this. Our good friend Judy Meister celebrating her 69th birthday. And what a marvelous picture right there with Judy and the fam. Judy, I want you to have a marvelous birthday. She's in Pittsburgh.
All right. Happy birthday, Judy. And happy birthday to Dave Ashmore, who's now 69 years old. That is not him in the middle. That's him on the right. Happy birthday, Dave.
That is correct. I will confirm that. Janet Houston is celebrating her 72nd birthday. Miss Houston, I want you to have a marvelous birthday weekend in Girard.
All right. And in Thayer, Kansas, Larry Brown turning 77 years old this year. Happy birthday, Larry.
Let's run down to Columbus and celebrate Marcella Carter's 84th birthday. Happy birthday, Marcella.
Let's see, turning 90 years old here. We've got Miss Dora Lee Thompson out in Mound Valley. What a wonderful picture. She's pictured here with her son and her 3 grandchildren. Happy birthday from the entire family, Miss Dora Lee.
Jeremy Harris, he is in Chanute. And Jeremy, I want you to know that these birthday wishes not only come from everybody here, but also with love from your wife.
All right. And we've got Lana Faulkner celebrating a birthday in Chautauqua. Happy birthday, Lana.
How about this for an anniversary milestone? Rod and Kathy Olson, half century, 50 years of marriage. Congratulations, Rod and Kathy. That is amazing.
And our very own
Who that is?
sales manager, we've got Rye Addis. Happy birthday, Rye.
You know, I used to do his birthday, and I used to say, you know, he's obviously marvelous dude. He's like half family, folks, so that's why I'm allowed to espouse on him. I used to be able to say, well, he's a marvelous son, because that's what he was when I met him. Well, now you have to remember, then he became a marvelous husband and son. Now he's a marvelous dad, husband, and son. Well done, young man. Well done, young man. You know we love you. Cindy Proctor, a happy birthday in Fort Scott. Bill McDermott is celebrating his 81st birthday. A happy birthday to Bill in Crestline. And Tanner Bolt, the big number 12. You got one more year before you're a teenager, Tanner, and we'll count it down with you. Happy birthday in Chanute.
Out in Mountain Valley, Willie Martin turns 53 years old this year, and it's time to celebrate in Columbus with Abby Nelson.
Happy birthday and happy anniversary to all. Give you an idea where to send them into. Birthdays at KOAMTV.com. You can also go to our website at KOAMNewsNow.com. Now here's Tanya Bach with a very important birthday announcement.
All right, want a chance to win a prize? Become a part of our KOAM Birthday Club. All you have to do is go to our website and sign up, and once you do, you'll get special deals from local businesses. Go to KOAMNewsNow.com and sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club today.
All right, Tanya, when we flip on over to Fox 14, she's a gumshoe grandma. She doesn't need police. You know why? She does her own detective work. And when you mess with one of her grandkids, she will come hunt you down. Whether it be surveillance video or good old-fashioned detective work, you're not going to want to miss her story. That's when we flip on over to Fox 14. Take a look at our temperatures here as we sit at 9 minutes until the top of the hour. We're down as low as 9 in Iola. We're as high as 16 in Miami and Grove in Jay. 16 is as good as we get on this Friday morning. Overcast skies to begin with. We've still got about, I'll say about 40 minutes until we get to sunrise. That'll be at 7:32 officially over Joplin, and we're going to need this to break up and clear out if we're going to have it present us with any type of a warm-up, because my goodness do we need it. We've got wind chills right now as low as 2 degrees. By the time we get to the afternoon, south wind kicks in. Combo that with a little sunshine, we'll range anywhere from about 33 to 37 degrees. And then as we work into Saturday morning, watch the right-hand side of your screen if you have to be out and about early Saturday, because we get a little pops of pink indicating some freezing drizzle. It's not widespread and should be done by about 9-10 a.m. But the Gulf moisture that works in from the south, it manages to hang around pretty much all Saturday and into Sunday. One aspect about that is our daily highs on Saturday and Sunday well above the freezing mark, so it'll just stay as rain. We'll be back with more KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
We're back.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. While snow has melted off many of the main roads in the area, there are still concerns as temperatures continue to drop. In Joplin, a number of the main roads cleared out as traffic increased and the sun broke through yesterday, but that melting combined with dropping temperatures could make roads hazardous again through the early morning hours. Conditions are the same in Kansas. According to the state's road conditions website, candrive.org, most roads in southeast Kansas were back to seasonal conditions. A Tulsa, Oklahoma man is dead after a crash on I-44 in Lawrence County, Missouri. The Missouri Highway Patrol says a semi hit the rear of a pickup driven by Luis Pacheco Lopez. Pacheco Lopez was thrown from his vehicle and died at the scene. There will be some more traffic impacts from the 32nd Street widening project in Joplin. Starting Monday, West 32nd Street from Schifferdecker to the entrance of Westbury Square will be closed. Detour routes will be posted and property owners will be allowed access at all times. Closure is expected to last until April. It's one of many closures that will happen consecutively on different sections of 32nd Street as the city continues its widening project. It's expected to be wrapped up in summer of 2023. Community members in Joplin discussed the future of Memorial Hall. The Memorial Hall Citizens Committee held its second meeting of the year. The committee plans to meet every Thursday afternoon at 4. Next week, they plan to discuss a bond that will be put up to voters in April. And as more people are without jobs, businesses are seeking employees, and that includes in Ajinomoto Foods in Joplin and Carthage. Frozen food manufacturer hosted a job fair at Carthage's Memorial Hall. Officials say they're hiring for multiple positions. Ajinomoto currently operates 9 factories in the U.S., including Carthage and Joplin, and employs a total of 2,800 people. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
Layer up, temperatures going to remain in the teens for really next several hours till we get some late morning and afternoon sunshine, and even then we're only going to get up in between about 33 and 37 degrees. Remember, beginning tomorrow morning, if you're out early, especially on the eastern counties, we got a chance for some freezing drizzle before that Gulf moisture turns over into rain and actually carries us from Saturday all the way into Sunday.
All right, thanks, Michael. Well, coming up today at noon, get your sweet tooth ready because Howard is making up some chocolate pecan cobbler in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Of course, your morning news continues on KOAM. We've got the CBS Morning News coming up next.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, we'll find out why doctors believe the number of people suffering from dementia will triple for the next generation.
And just in time for the Winter Olympics, wait until you hear about this announcement from U.S. Olympic hero Michelle Kwan. We'll have those stories and more coming up over on Fox 14. Wraps it up for this Friday edition. Stay warm, be safe. We'll do this all again on Monday morning.
And we're going to do it again today at noon.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance is brought to you by